What does it say about a society when its children no longer dream? When the sound of laughter is replaced with the noise of screens, and imagination is replaced with algorithms? We live in an age where childhood is dying, not with a scream, not with violence, but with quiet substitution. One day at a time, innocence is traded for distraction. Wonder is exchanged for consumption. And imagination is buried beneath the weight of society's expectations. We are watching the death of childhood unfold before our very eyes, and yet almost no one notices. We're too busy scrolling, consuming, competing. Too blind to see the collective stupidity that has made this tragedy feel normal. But what happens to a civilization that kills its own childhood? It kills its future. It kills its soul. Today we're going to look at why childhood is disappearing, why society is blind to this loss, and why our collective stupidity ensures that very few will care, until it's too late. Think about this. Every great breakthrough in human history started with imagination. The wheel, the compass, electricity, the internet, all of it began with someone daring to see what others could not. Children are born with this gift in abundance. Their world is filled with wonder, possibility, and curiosity. But instead of nurturing this, society has created systems that quietly steal it away. Schools no longer teach children how to think, but what to think. Television shows, social media, and video games replace play, nature, and exploration. By the time a child reaches adolescence, their natural creativity has been replaced by pre-programmed patterns of distraction and conformity. We have convinced ourselves that giving children endless technology is the same as giving them opportunity. But what we've really given them is addiction. We have given them dopamine instead of discipline, distraction instead of direction. The result? A generation growing up faster than ever, yet emptier than ever. Children who are smart enough to use devices, but too numb to dream beyond them. The tragedy is not just the loss of imagination, it's the normalization of that loss. Society congratulates itself on its progress. We call it advancement, innovation, efficiency. But beneath the glitter of modern life hides a darker truth. What we call progress is often just control, consumption, and conformity, dressed in new clothing. We think we are moving forward, but in reality, we are moving in circles. Children are exposed to more knowledge than ever before, yet they understand less. They have access to more entertainment, yet they are more depressed. They have more freedom, yet they are enslaved to algorithms. Collective stupidity thrives when people mistake comfort for growth, and that is exactly where we are. We no longer raise children to be thinkers, builders, or dreamers. We raise them to be consumers. And when childhood becomes just another target market, when innocence is sold to the highest bidder, then we are no longer progressing as a civilization. We are decaying while pretending to evolve. Wonder is the essence of childhood. It is the spark that makes a child look at the night sky and believe anything is possible. But today that spark is dimming. Ask yourself, when was the last time you saw children playing freely in nature, inventing stories, building worlds from their imagination. Compare that to how often you see them glued to screens, overstimulated and emotionally exhausted. We have traded slow afternoons of exploration for constant stimulation. The child who once stared in awe at a butterfly now scrolls endlessly past flashing pixels on a phone. And society calls this normal. The truth is, wonder has become inconvenient. Wonder requires silence, time, and patience, things society no longer values. Instead, we value speed, efficiency, and productivity. Even childhood is being optimized, scheduled, and monetized. When a society no longer protects wonder, it no longer protects the essence of humanity. Why don't we notice? Why don't parents, teachers, and leaders sound the alarm about the death of childhood? The answer is uncomfortable, because we are all complicit. We are blind not because we cannot see, but because we do not want to see. It's easier to hand a child a device than to spend time with them. It's easier to accept the system than to challenge it. It's easier to go along with the crowd than to stand against it. This is collective stupidity, the mass agreement to ignore reality because reality is too painful. Instead of confronting the problem, we distract ourselves. Instead of fighting for children, we sell them out. And like every form of stupidity, this blindness has consequences. A society that normalizes the destruction of its youngest members is a society preparing for its own destruction. When we lose childhood, we don't just lose play. We lose resilience, we lose creativity, we lose the very foundation of human potential. A child robbed of wonder becomes an adult robbed of meaning. A child who is trained to consume becomes an adult who does not know how to create. A child who is given comfort without struggle becomes an adult who collapses under the weight of life's inevitable hardships. The cost of stolen childhood is not measured in test scores or bank accounts. It is measured in empty lives, broken dreams, and generations that no longer believe in the future. Civilizations do not collapse because of outside enemies, they collapse from within. And the fastest way to destroy a civilization is to destroy its children. The question remains, is this inevitable? Has childhood already been buried beyond recovery? The answer depends on us. We cannot wait for governments, corporations, or institutions to solve this problem. They are the very systems profiting from the destruction of childhood. The only solution begins at the individual level, with parents, with communities, with each of us deciding to protect wonder instead of selling it. That means replacing distraction with presence, replacing consumption with creation, replacing conformity with curiosity. It means letting children be children again, allowing them to play, to dream, to fail, to grow without constant interference. Childhood can be saved, but only if enough people wake up from the blindness of collective stupidity. Civilizations rise and fall. History is filled with nations that once thought themselves invincible, only to collapse under their own arrogance. The death of childhood is not just a tragedy, it is a warning. A society that forgets its children forgets its future. A society that sacrifices wonder for convenience and imagination for control is a society digging its own grave. The choice before us is simple. We either awaken now or we pay the price later. If you care about the future, if you care about truth, you must start by protecting childhood. Because once childhood dies, humanity follows. And that is the truth society doesn't want you to see.